everyone, this is Sandra at Spirit of Avalon. So today I'm going to do the hashtag that Simon put out a couple of days ago, Simon at the Hermit's Cave, which is Tarot Tubers A to Z Next Gen, so next generation. He did put a tag out a few years back that was just Tarot Tubers A to Z, which I did do. So I thought, oh, what the hell, let's just do this one as well. Might as well, as I did the last one. So, right, so starting with A, which is author, so like your favourite author. So I've gone with fiction on this one. So my favourite author is Phil Rickman, who wrote this book, The Chalice, which of course is set in Glastonbury, as you can see the tour here. But his other books are set in sort of Wales or the Pennines even. So, but they're all set in this country, and they are so good, guys, so good. I've read this book no end of times. In fact, I've got 2 copies and I've got a Kindle copy as well, obsessed. So this is The Chalice, and so he's done other books, like we've got on the back Candle Night, The Man in the Moss, December and Curfew. All really good, all really good. Highly recommend if you like sort of things a bit creepy, a bit weird, you know, but not full-blown really gross horror. He's just so good. And then he did a couple of books which I managed to find under a different name, because they're more kind of teenage type books, but again, so good, and set in Glastonbury. So one of these is Marco's Pendulum. So you see by Tom Madeley, but it is actually Phil Rickman. So good, really good. And there's a follow-up to this one called Marco and the Blade of Night. Now, the thing with these ones he's done that are about Glastonbury is you can kind of read them in order, because it's a kind of order. I mean, you could read them alone, no problem. But when you read from a certain point, you can see the same surnames and things being used, or the same names being used. So the first of these books, really, before you read The Chalice, if you wanted to do them in order, is this one, The Bones of Avalon. And this is like a used copy that I managed to get, because it's quite difficult to get this one. So, and this is like, we're talking, I don't know if it's, yeah, it's Dr. John Dee, so we're talking Elizabethan times. So we're talking Glastonbury in Elizabethan times. He gets sent there with a friend, and it is really good. And some of the names that are mentioned, like the surnames of characters, are in this one, and then in this one, same names again that are in this one. So they're just so good. But even the ones that are not set in Glastonbury, I still love them. He did do the Merrily Watkins series of books as well, and I haven't actually read those. I'm sure they're good as well, but those are like a series of books, whereas these are standalone novels. Anyway, I've waffled probably too long on author. I better get to B. Oh, and if I was going to pick a non-fiction author, it'd probably be Doreen Valiente, who does like the witchcraft books, but they're from like the 50s and 60s and stuff. But there's something strange with the whole Doreen Valiente thing, because when I saw her autobiography and saw her face on the book, it was like I knew her. It was really weird, really strong feeling, so I don't know. Right, B is Biggest Regret. Now, people who know me personally will probably guess what my biggest regret would be, but I'm not going to say this particular one on here, because it's like a bit too personal, and it's probably oversharing a bit, and you know, you're going to get questions afterwards and things, so I'm not going to share that one. but like I say, people that I'm sort of close friends with will probably know. But the other biggest regret for me is not carrying on, or not from school, not doing what I wanted to do, really. I wanted to be a veterinary nurse. But what happened was that there was the school like open evenings, that your parents go to. Well, my dad didn't like going, my mum always used to go. And I went with her on this occasion, and my biology teacher, she said, oh yes, she's very good. She's great with animals and stuff, but she's not good enough to be a veterinary nurse. Not academically bright enough, I suppose. And so that was it. I didn't do it. As soon as she said that, and I've never forgotten it, I can always remember her saying, yeah, she's not actually good enough to be a veterinary nurse. She's not gonna have the brain basically for it. So I would have loved to have done that though, or some job with animals, but veterinary nurse would have been good, because you could, I know there's the side where sometimes animals die, or they have to be put to sleep and things by the vet, but also you can be saving animals' lives and stuff as well. But yeah, so C is car. What do you listen to most in the car? I don't drive, but if I did, or if I was on a drive and I just got earphones in, I don't normally do that when I'm with people because it's a bit rude. It would probably be 80s metal or rock bands. I don't know, things like Judas Priest. I loved Ozzy Osbourne. I still like them. Even things like soft rock, like Bon Jovi, and there used to be a band called Europe, which I really loved as well. So either that, or pagan type music, like Damn the Bard, or Blackmore's Night, or Fawn. They're a German band and they sing in German, but they're still so cool. So something like that would be like my car music. D, divination tool other than tarot. So other than tarot, I really like using the Ogham, so the Ogham staves. And I've also got some circular Oghams that were made for me by a witchy friend. And they're really kind of rustic, and she's drawn like the leaves and of the different trees on it. I mean, my Ogham staves are from each individual tree. The long staves, which I got from Spirit of Old, who are so good. They're a little bit pricey, but they are so nice. But the ones she did me are just, I think, from the same type of tree, which is fine. And she's pyrographed, is it, or whatever, when you burn into the wood, and she's put the leaves and the name of the corresponding Ogham onto it. So I've got those as well. So yeah, I really like using those, and you can just throw them out, or you could pick just one out of the bag after twisting them around a bit, but I really like them because they correspond to the different trees that we have here in this country. So yeah, I love anything wooden and stuff anyway. So yeah. Eat. What would you want to eat as your last meal? Okay, so this didn't take much thinking about, actually. At first I thought it would when I first scanned the questions, but my last meal would be fish and chips. And this isn't just because it's like a classic kind of British thing. My reasoning behind that would be because my dad, as some of you know, passed away from cancer. It'd be 6 years ago this year. And his last meal that we could get him to eat was fish and chips. He loved fish and chips, my dad. and my brother bought him fish and chips, and at that time he wasn't eating, he'd stopped eating basically, but he did eat those and he ate every bit, and it was his last meal that he had before he actually passed away a day or two later. So yeah, so there would be that. So that would be my choice, would be to have fish and chips as a last meal. F is fears, rational, irrational. Spiders. I've tried. I mean, I won't kill them because I won't kill anything, not even an ant, not deliberately. But it's the thing, it's the legs, you know, the way they scuttle along. And if you get those ones with the great big long legs, the house spiders, I just like, oh God, no. I'm always scared of them getting on me. So yeah, it's the legs thing. And I know people say, oh, they're more afraid of you than you are of them, and it's like, yeah, but they're still dead creepy, especially the large ones. I don't mind little tiny ones, I'm fine with that, but the bigger ones with the long legs and the fat bodies, oh no. And I'm not over keen on wasps either, because they will come at you and they can sting and sting and sting, whereas a bee can only sting once, and they won't sting usually unless they're trapped or something. So yeah, so that would be like fears. And I think things like, oh God, you know, like with everything going on in the world and that, and you think, is somebody gonna, you know, set off a nuclear bomb or something like that? So there's always that at the back of my mind and stuff as well. And it's why I do tend not to watch the news, because I'm an empath and I really feel things. I mean, I can't even watch a lot of adverts. If there's adverts with kids in distress or animals or things, I can't watch them. I have to literally turn the sound off so I can't hear it and not look. So I don't tend to watch the news very much either. Okay, so G, game, favourite. I haven't really got a favourite game. I mean, I don't play board games really. I used to when I was younger, but then that stopped because my brother, that's 2 years younger than me, used to cheat or get annoyed if he didn't win and things like that. So the board games stopped. But I suppose the only games I would say that I do sometimes, and it's almost like a mindfulness thing, I suppose, is on the iPad. You know, like you can get those like brain teaser ones, or having to match things in a certain amount of time, like you've got a time limit to match things together and get so many, and that type of thing. Or like, you know, what do they call it, Jelly Crush and things like that, or Candy Crush, you know, those types of game things I quite like sometimes, just as a thing, just to take your mind away from other things. So yeah. Holiday, what is your favourite time of the year? So your favourite holiday season. So that would be Christmas. Even though I'm not Christian, I am pagan, but I still do celebrate. I celebrate Yule, obviously, which is close to Christmas time, and I do Christmas because my mum, my nieces and that obviously all do Christmas, so I still do that, and I just like the atmosphere at that time of year, and the fact that you can have things that you wouldn't normally, like naughty food and and stuff, and you know, a nice drink sometimes, because again, I don't really drink otherwise, and it's just this, like, it's not like excitement like when you were a kid, but there's something like that in the air, like this, people seem to be more jolly, you know, more kind of upbeat and stuff, and you know, and you've got all like the lights and Christmassy things in the shops, and it's just almost that kind of excitement again. But it's not the same as when I was a kid, though, of course. So yeah, so Christmas would be. I is interest, something other than what people already know about you, so something that people might not know about me. This was hard. It wouldn't have been a few years ago, because a few years ago I used to collect living dead dolls. But I don't do that anymore. So the only thing I could think about was I'm quite interested in, you know, like previous civilizations, and when they find places that are strange and have got really neat carvings and things like that, and it looks as though whatever civilization did that were more advanced than we are now. So something like this, I'll just show you this book as just to give you an idea example. So this is Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, which was found by accident by a shepherd. He stumbled over a stone, I think. And then there's this whole huge complex that they found when they dug down. And a lot of the carvings and things on the temple areas and stuff, you just think, how could a civilization then have done this? I mean, here's one picture here, but that's not even one of the really good ones. I mean, look how neat the carving and stuff is here, and like here. And that's just an example. And they reckon, because they were reckoning this site was 4,000 years old, but now they're saying it's more likely 12,000 years old. So imagine that, guys. And you just think, how could something like Neolithic man have made something like that? It's so precise. And I just think, I mean, I'm not a conspiracy theorist or anything, but I just think, what if our timeline is off? What if there was civilizations before us that were more advanced than us? And how were they more advanced? Was there, and again, this is controversial because not everyone believes this, and it's totally fine, was there help from what we would call aliens? Help from beings from other planets or other realms or other dimensions even. And yeah, this book talks about the Anunnaki, which was Sumerian gods, which apparently were some form of alien, something like that. So they think anyway. So this type of thing I am quite interested in, and I do watch programs about that type of thing as well. It's even like when you go to Avebury and you look at the size of those rocks and you think, really? Neolithic man? And you know, Stonehenge, when they say about, well, they put the rocks on like these wooden things and took them down the rocks that heavy would break anything wooden. There's no way. So I mean, you know, this is all, you know, I could be totally wrong, and maybe that is how they did it, but you know, things like that I'm interested in anyway. And even like, you know, different dimensions and portals and other realms. I mean, I just think that, seriously, can we be the only planet that has intelligent life on it? In my opinion, no, but that's just my opinion. Okay, J is for joy. What things bring you joy? So one of the things that always makes me feel like joyful and happy is a bright summer's day, when all the leaves are out on the trees and flowers, and you can hear the bees buzzing and birds singing, all of that. I love that. Absolutely love it. So that always brings me joy. But the other thing that brings me joy is time with friends. Time with friends who are real friends. People that, you know, I feel that I'm close with, that have maybe the same or similar interests, and it's just and friends that don't like look at you and think, oh God, look at the size of her. You know, that type of thing. So non-judgmental, I suppose, friends. And you know, these people that are just really lovely, and that it feels like I've known forever, and people that I do actually love. These people that, or friends, you know, I can say that my real friends, proper friends, you know, I do love them. So, you know, and because in the normal way, in everyday life, in everyday situation, I don't get that, I suppose it's so nice to be able to have that sometimes, you know. So anyway, so that's J. K is karaoke. What would you sing? I've never done karaoke. I cannot imagine myself standing up there doing. I might if it was with somebody else. I don't know. It may be, but I thought, oh God, what would I sing? Thing is, there's so many songs that I like, and then I thought maybe Karma Chameleon by Culture Club and Boy George. I always liked a bit of Boy George in the 80s. Well, I still do. I still listen to it. Boy George, as well as like the metal and rock bands, I liked Culture Club, Boy George. I like George Michael and Wham and Madonna. Lots of like different things. So yeah, I might do Karma Chameleon because I really like that song by them. So yeah. L, what makes you laugh the most? Right. Firstly, it will be my brother, my youngest brother, that has the two kids that I've been to Glastonbury with and do different things with, because it's just the way he comes out with things. It's just so funny. And if he kind of is taking the mickey a little bit, he doesn't do it in a nasty way. It is funny in the way he says it. You know, he's always like joking around with my mum, always like saying things to her, and he'll say things that you'll think, oh, that's a bit off, but he doesn't say it in that way. Like he'll ring up and say, he might say to her, I thought I'd better ring, see how the old bat's doing. And, you know, but he doesn't mean it in a horrible way. My mum knows that and she just laughs. And it is funny, but, and some of the things, and even sometimes when he uses like certain words that I might not like the C word, rude word. But when he says it, it's funny. So, yeah, my brother's always funny and like joking around, or we get into situations if we even go to haunted woods and that, where we end up laughing and stuff, you know. So yeah, definitely. And also I quite like, I don't think he really does stand-up comedy and that anymore, but I used to like Lee Evans, he was a comedian, because he would take real life situations. Like I remember once him saying, have you seen these women with kids and buggies and like a whole week shopping on the handlebars, and what happens when they let go? doof, down goes the chair, and the child starts screaming, and and then he said, and then what happens? They blame the kid, and so he takes actual like real situations like that and makes it funny. So yeah, I like him. I like Peter Kay as well. He's another one that is really, really funny. I love it when he does that thing where he's got songs playing, but he uses different words for the songs, and he's just quite funny anyway. So yeah, there's that. But a lot of comedians I don't like. I don't really find them funny. So okay, M is movie. One you love and could watch again and again. There's probably a couple of movies like that. There's probably horror movies like that that I could watch again and again. But I thought, no, I'm not going to choose one of those. So my choice for this is Oliver, the musical version, when they do all the songs and everything. And seriously, I'm sitting there and I know all the words to the songs, especially with Fagin, you've got to pick a pocket or two. I love that. And it was on a few weeks ago and I had to watch it. And if it's on and I'm not in, I'll record it to watch it. So yeah, Oliver, the musical version. And if it's Christmas time, Scrooge, the musical version. I could just watch that over and over and over again as well. So N, nature. Where in nature do you feel the most connected? That's an easy one. Countryside and woodlands. I love it. I love the woods. I love the countryside. I love like walking up lanes, where there's virtually no traffic and you've got fields and woods and things on either side. I keep saying that one day when I go to Glastonbury, I'm going to walk up Wellhouse Lane. I have walked up it part way before and then crossed over to go to the tour, but it does go further up and you can visit the two really old oak trees, Gog and Magog, and one day I will do that. But that, for instance, is a lovely walk up Wellhouse Lane. It's very steep though, and I'm like but yeah, definitely countryside and woodlands is my kind of thing. Optimistic. Oh, what are your hopes for the future? Well, again, that's kind of private, some of it. What I would like, if I'm talking about me, is I'd love to live in Glastonbury. Everybody knows this. But it would be so nice to live there. I mean, it would be okay, like living on my own. I'm not saying I wouldn't live on my own, because I'm sure it would be fine doing that. But it would be nice if I was able to live there with someone else that also loved the place as much as I did, that really wanted to be there and, loved living there and, could do all the things. And I mean, I even thought to myself, God, even if I could get a job in Sons of Asgard, maybe I should ask them, do you have any jobs? If I could get a job there or something, I don't know, that would be cool. And it would be, a way to earn some money and stuff, working in one of the shops there. I mean, Sons of Asgard would be perfect, but, most of the shops are like great anyway. So something like that. And see, I'm because I don't want to say this and, it sounds funny, but people that know my situation will understand that it would be nice to be with someone that gets me and that could, or that I could maybe love, or and I don't mean it even in a, not necessarily in a sexual way or anything like that. I just mean almost more like, I don't know. Hopefully, I'm probably talking rubbish, guys, but it would just be nice to have that, I suppose, more like companionship and, respect for each other, and, and love as in a friendship love, I suppose, that kind of thing. Anyway, I'm probably talking rubbish, so let's go to P. Pip deck fave. So what is your favourite pip deck? Now, I don't like pip decks. I don't, but I have kept some that I couldn't part with, that I do really love. Like, I've got my Trionfi della Luna blue paradoxical, which there's no way I could let that go. I've got the illustrated pips version and the rose illustrated pips, but I've also got the new choice, which I love. I would never let go of, but I'm sure I said new choice last time, so I thought let's choose another one that I really love and could never get rid of, and that is the Marshmallow Marseille. So these are tiny cards and they're so cute. Even my mum was like, oh, that deck's really cute. These are the backs. Look, hollow. Kelly would say, Kelly Bear, hollow sexual. So, see, they're in order because I don't really use it. Plus, as well, I do put my decks back in order now and again anyway. But look, I love the colours. And it's just like a cute deck because it's little as well. So this would probably be my favourite pip deck. I mean, let's look at some of the pips. Yeah, you see, even just looking at the pips, I'm like, do you know, it's like this kind of, what happens with me and pips is that I just look at them and I'm like, oh no, boring. That's what goes through my mind, is like, boring. And I know it's terrible, and I know lots of people love pip decks, and that's totally fine. If we all like the same thing, but I do really like this deck though. So, I would, you look, it's got a bend in it already, look. So I would still use this, even if, because what I sometimes do with pip decks that I've kept hold of, and I haven't kept many, is use them as majors only. Sometimes I do that. So yeah, but I do like this little Marshmallow Marseille. So this is actually a Marseille deck. I don't think I've got any actual pip decks. Now, Simon gave me one when I was there. I'm not sure if it's a pip deck though now, I can't remember. I know because I've been tidying, so I've tidied things away and stuff. So that'll be that for P. Q, quality time. What do you consider quality time spent? So again, it would be time with my brother, I think, and time with my nieces would be like quality time spent. And again, with friends, that's definitely quality time with friends. People that, I think it's people that are like, that mean something to you, people that you love, all of that, definitely people that that I love and are special to me. Yeah, like my brother, my nieces, friends, all of that. So that's what I would consider quality time spent with them. Reincarnation. If you could be reborn in any time period, when would that be and why? Now, this, my go-to with this, but I know that a couple of these I'm saying the same things that Simon said, but that's not because he said them. It's because I'm like, the time period, and you know, if my mum was stood here, she would tell you that I've always said, if I could have been born in any other time, it would be the 60s, and this is what Simon happened to say as well, because I just love all that type of hippie vibe and the way out man and flower power and free love and all of it. I just love that, like camper vans, you know, the old style ones, and the clothes, just everything. So I think it would be that, because I mean, see, I would say like the Tudor period, because I'm always really interested in the Tudors, but it wouldn't be a nice time period to live in, would it? Because if you got sick, chances are you're going to die, very often anyway. So, and then there's things like, you just, you know, when you think of places like London in those times, you can't even imagine what the smell was probably like, because lots of people didn't wash, who did, you know, or not very much. There wasn't the hygiene, there wasn't, like, you know, the facilities. People would throw waste out onto the streets and, you know, things like that. So I don't think in that way it would be particularly pleasant. It'd be interesting, but I don't know that I'd want to be reborn in that time. It'd be nice to just go there, see it, and be able to come back, but not to be reborn there. So my choice would be the 60s. S is sacred. What is sacred to you? I would say my sacred space, because that's my one thing that I have that is totally mine and never gets touched by anyone else. And, you know, I move things around on it, I clean it, I do, you know, that is my sacred space, my own thing, one thing that's mine. Like, you know, like my decks as well, they're another thing that are totally mine, that never get touched or like interfered with or anything like that. So, you know, that's sacred to me. My space, I've got like a main sort of altar area, and I've got like a little one with goddesses and stuff that's just like a windowsill, and that is totally mine as well. So yeah, so that would be, so it would literally be my sacred space, would be what's sacred to me. T, tarot, your current favourite deck. So, current fave, and this is one, guys, that I haven't done a walkthrough of, but if you want one, I'll do it. Of course, you know, I don't mind at all. It's just because I get decks, and then I've got others that I want to do walkthroughs of before I do a walkthrough of this one, and it all gets, you know. So my current favourite deck is the Walk-in Meditation Tarot, and this is by Danielle Norman, and I got this from the boutique. I don't think she has any left now. I mean, I don't know if you can still get them from the creator or not, but it comes with 2 books. One is like the guidebook, and one is a meditation pocket book. And the card's lovely cast on, and it's got these lovely like sky blue edges. And the cardstock is so good. So nice. It's a bit like, it reminds me a little bit of New Choice, you know that. So we got cut off there, but never mind, we'll carry on. I was talking about the T, your current favourite tarot deck, which is the Walk-in Meditation Tarot, and the sound of the cards have got that kind of like New Choice Tarot de Marseille type feel to them. These are the backs, and yeah, so look at this Queen of Wands. And these were taken in Canada, where the creator is from, but also in other places. I think some even in the UK as well. I mean, look at this. That's King of Pentacles. I think there's, yeah, there's some extra cards and stuff in there. It's Five of Pentacles. I just love it because of all the nature and trees and plants and things in there, so that's why. So that is my current favourite. Look at this World card. I love this. Oh, and I love this Ace of Wands. So anyway, guys, if you want me to do a walkthrough, I will do of that one, because I know I haven't done it up to now. So that is favourite tarot deck at the moment, as I'm doing this, because it could change and probably will in a week or so's time. You, unforgettable moment. Okay, this was hard actually. And I thought, oh my God, how sad is that I haven't got unforgettable moments. There probably is, but one that came to mind again, and I know, guys, it's probably really boring for you, but unforgettable moment was the very first time that I climbed the tour, because I was so convinced that I would not be able to do it. And when I got to the top, I couldn't believe it. I was like, no way, I've actually done it. I've actually climbed that, and I didn't think I'd be able to do it. So, yeah, climbing the tour. Another unforgettable moment based around the tour again was the second time that I climbed it and did like a meditation in the St Michael's Tower that's on the tour, and I saw the green man, the face of the green man, and it changed into my dad's face, and he was smiling, and I cried like terrible. And it was just like, he was like, yeah, you got here, you got to Glastonbury, great. You know, he was smiling with his usual way, he always did smile, you know. So, yeah, that would be my unforgettable moment, climbing the tour for the first time. Vacation, favourite vacation destination. Can you guess where? You're probably all shouting Glastonbury at the screen now, which, yes, it would be Glastonbury, because any time that anyone said, do you want to go to Glastonbury? If there was any way I could get there, yes, I would love to go to Glastonbury. I mean, I've been to other places, of course, that are also nice. I thought, you know, where I went with Simon, where was it? That stone circle that we visited in in Derbyshire, that was really lovely. Up there in Derbyshire was really nice, and Bakewell we went. So, you know, places like that, little villages or little, you know, places. But I also did like America when I went. I only went to Florida though, but I wouldn't mind seeing other areas of the US because it's so huge. But yeah, my favourite destination always is going to be Glastonbury. It's just is just the feel whenever I get there. W, well-being. What do you do to keep it in check? Keep your well-being in check. Sort of mindfulness practices, I suppose. Adult colouring, and I know I've said this before, but I do like the more complicated ones, the ones where you've got loads of little circles and they've got like a number in it, and you have to obviously match your pen colour to that number, and it makes up a whole picture. So like the mosaic type ones and the circular ones. So I like all of those, and I can spend ages like doing that, and it's good because it takes my mind away from other things if I've got like anxiety, which I often have. So that works really well for me. It may not for everyone, but it does work really well for me. Not watching the news is something else that I do for my own well-being. Also meditation. I've been doing more meditation than I was previously, and I've got this really nice meditation spray that I got from Sons of Asgard, and I spray it all around, even like over me, and it really does help with doing it, or it does for me. I mean, whether I'm just imagining that, I don't know, but I feel that it helps me. And my brother actually got an aura calm spray from them that's been helping one of his daughters. So yeah, but yeah, not watching the news. Adult colouring is a definite one. And even actually there's several colouring apps that you can put on your phone or iPad, and it's like a colour by number type thing, and you have to press the screen on a different thing. That's a total like time waste. But that's another one that you can do to kind of take your mind away from things. And like health wise as well, I know we're talking about well-being, so our mental health and stuff, but physically as well, I do make sure I take vitamin D every day and things like that, because that helps with your immune system and stuff. So yeah. X is for X-ray. Have you had one? Yes, I have, but I have never broken a bone. But what I have done, and why I had X-rays, well, I've had a chest X-ray before, and an X-ray because what I actually did years ago, I dislocated my knee to the point that the whole knee, the whole round knee bone, came round and was at the back of my leg, and it tore all the muscles and everything one side. So that's why I've got a weakness on my knee, and now my other knee is weaker as well, because it's taken a lot of the strain that the other knee should have been, if you know what I mean. So I've kind of made that worse now as well. But yeah, so yes, I have had X-rays, not recently, but I have, yes. Why yourself? When can you feel totally comfortable in your own skin? Do I ever feel totally comfortable in my own skin? Probably not, because I always look at myself and think, oh, I need to be thinner and stuff. But I can feel, I suppose I would feel the most comfortable, again, and this is going back to what I've said before, but with friends, but with close friends, people that I know are not going to look at me and judge me, or go like this, up and down, like you get some people do that, and I can just also be comfortable in what I'm saying, be comfortable as in, being able to do something like wearing PJs and whoever I'm with doesn't mind, and that type of thing. And yeah, and also being comfortable I suppose, in being able to say whatever I like and not be worried about what they're going to think, or, oh, are they going to go and say this to this person or other people or whatever. So yeah, I would say with that, it's that, it's friends. And Z is Zodiac. What star sign are you, and do you feel a connection with it? So I'm an Aries, and do I feel a connection with it? No, is the answer. No, it's a fire sign, and I've written them down because some of the words that they use as, you know, for Aries, like fiery. No, that's not me. Passionate, maybe with some things. Yeah. High energy. No, don't think so. Domineering. No. Determined. Sometimes maybe. Confident. No. An initiator. No. Courageous. Maybe with some things. You know, so, and the thing is, I did wonder, because I was born on April the 7th. I was supposed to have been born in March, I think, but I was late arriving. So if I'd have been born in March, I would have been a Pisces. And when you look up the traits for Pisces, they match better with me than Aries. So I don't know whether there's something in that. I also don't know what else would be in my birth chart, because I've never had it done. So I don't know what other factors are there. I don't know what my moon sign is and other things. So, but yeah, I don't feel that I match with Aries. I don't know what you guys think, but I don't think I match with Aries. I think, if anything, I match more with Pisces. But anyway, that is the A to Z done. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope it wasn't too waffly for you, because this has turned into a really long video. In fact, I've got to put 2 bits together, but yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed it. And yeah, I'm sure I'll be back soon with some walkthroughs, and I'll talk to you all then. Bye for now.